Hey y'all, it is Kat from Kat Southern Charms. Let's talk about step one in using fairy lights. We're gonna break it down step by step for you today. The first thing you do before you even pour resin is pre-shape your fairy lights. You see it's a metal wire. You can bend and shape any way you want. For this piece, I'm going to mainly light up the rosebud, not the whole piece. So you can see that I have crimped it, put it in circles, so it's laid out exactly how I want it in my piece before I mix any resin. This will save you a lot of time, a lot of headache, and a lot of messiness on your fingers. So, step one is done. I'm gonna come back and show you all the rest together. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button you don't wanna miss, because this video is very sought after and requested. It's coming very soon. The next day or two it will be uploaded. So make sure you ding that bell so you don't miss the announcement when it comes. Hey y'all, we're back. We let this set up for about 2 hours. You want to make sure, where did my toothpick run away to? There it is. You want to make sure that when you take a toothpick and you put it in, it has a little give, but you can put your wires in. Remember I told you, step one before you even pour resin is you form your fairy light using the metal, because it's bendable. Form it to how you want it in your project. So I did that. The second step was to pour a layer of resin and let it set up so it's tacky, because remember I told you there's 3 ways that you can attach these fairy lights to your project. One is what we're fixing to do. The second is if your piece is cured, like this piece, you can take your fairy lights and attach it with this bonding UV resin that comes with this cute little pin light. And I won't shine it in your face, but you can see. So that is a second way you can do it. And the last way is to use some E6000 glue, which is like a jewelry glue. It works real well, but it doesn't set up immediately. That is something that you'll just have to attach it, walk away, and let it dry on its own. So that's your 3 ways to do that. But for this one, I pre-measured, so I am going to press. And remember I told you, I'm really only looking to light up my rosebud, okay? So, don't want any toothpick. I'm gonna use my stick and I'm going to press my lights down into the sticky, taffy-like resin, just like so. And by doing this, it is not gonna move and float and do all that. It's gonna be down, stuck good in my resin, just where I want the lights to be. So we're going to, whoop. It's sticky, y'all, I'm telling you. This is why you want to use your little silicone tools to do this. And all of this is going to sink back down and it's going to level out. So I'm going to push this down along the stem. And you can see that is there, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this set up another hour. This is step 3. Step 4, we'll be coming back and we're gonna add a top coat over this. going to push this because I want my switch down here. That's all there is to it, y'all. That's it. Okay. And I want to set this up here so gravity is not pulling it away. In fact, I'm going to set that there so it's propped up. Okay. So you can see how easy that was to do, right? And this is in a thinner area. So it's really not wanting to stay put. There we go. And that is all. I'm gonna let my light sit there. Done. Okay, you see how it's attached? I'm gonna test it. All my lights are working. Kind of hard to press that button through these gloves. There. So you see, that's the only area really mainly focused on my rose. And once again, there we go. In the next hour, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna keep checking and make sure that this stays down where I want them to be, right? And that's it, y'all. That is all it is to it. And you see what I mean by preforming where I want this? Since it's preformed, all I have to do is go in, press it down, I'm done. That's it. So we're gonna let this cure. We're gonna come back, we're gonna do the final coat, and we're finished with that. Let me show you. I'm just gonna use this. See, I'm gonna take this apart real quick. And I'm just gonna flatten it out. And I'm gonna put it in the center of, we'll put it on the back side of this, but I wanna show you how you can use, let me move our rose out of the way. So all that's out of the way. Now I'm going to put this down. I'm going to show you how you can use a bonding to tack this down. All right. Now I'm going to press my wire down. If I not, and I'm going to cure it with a little pen light. This does not take long at all. So you can see there. All right, it's tacked down. So let's tack over here. And this is called, it's a bonding UV. Let's Resin has it. It's not very expensive and it's great for when you want to attach like bales to jewelry or something like that. This little pen light helps you get behind things so it's easier. See, look at that. See, it is attached, it's bonded. It's just that simple using this method. Like I said, if you use the glue, if you use the E6000, you're gonna put a dab and you're gonna put your wire down in it. And you may need to put a rubber band or something around to hold your wire into the glue while it sets up. But that's another way to attach it, y'all. So we'll come back and we'll pour a top coat on this rose and we'll let that cure and we'll take it out and show you just how simple that was. Really easy, guys. I hope these tricks are helping you. It will be just a few minutes for you, a little while for me, so I'll see you in a few. Hey, y'all. It is Kat from Kat Southern Charms, and we're back. everything is done. First, let's go over the 3 ways that I said we can put fairy lights like this into a resin project. One, which we did on this one, is you can see the little dots from this bonding resin, Violet's resin. You put your little dot over your wire, you cure it with your little UV pen, and it stays. Now, I could pour a top coat over this and seal everything in, and then I have my controls, which I believe I did. There's a little tab you pull out to make sure your lights work. So you can see we have lights on the back of our coaster that were easily attached using the bonding UV. This is actually the #1 way I suggest to do this. It's very easy. You don't have to fight anything. It stays where you put it. Done deal. So the first and my suggested way is using this UV bonding, which means to do that, you have to wait till your pieces cure. And like I said before, you pre-bend these because they're wires. These fairy lights are wires, so they bend and flex, and you can easily form it to however, whatever design you want. Once you pre-formed it, then put it where you want it, add your little drop of bonding, use your little handy dandy pen that comes with it, and cure. Done. No mess, none of that. Then you just add a top coat over top. Easy. Like, I would leave this in the mold. I would lay my lights out how I want it to. I will bond it. Put a little drop here, a little drop there. I would put 1 drop, bond it. Put my next drop, bond that one. And then, you know, it's all done. Then you add your top coat and you're finished. So that is the easiest way to add fairy lights. But you can also do like I did here, but you can see we had some issues with this still wanting to rise up. And I could still put another top coat on this if I wanted to, but I'm not gonna bother with it, it's fine. So let's take this out of the mold. And what we did with this is we put some resin in there and let it sit for about 2 or 3 hours till it got to that taffy. Remember when I said you put a toothpick in and you pull it straight up and it leaves a strand like taffy? That means it's good for you to pour another layer on, right? But also in that consistency is when you can insert things and they'll stay where you put them. So that's what we did with this, is we used that method. And you could see, not the best, right? But here's our nail cross with the rose. And remember, I only placed, aha, you can see there's a tab here. So you don't click these and they run all night. But you can see, remember I only laid them in the rose part and a little down the stem. That's where I wanted them placed. Now, to hide my controller, I can just put a little glue dot there and it will hold it. So I can get it up, replace batteries, whatever I need to do. But it's out of sight that way. But that's how we did it. And remember, I pre-formed it to the mold before I even mixed my resin up. So it's so much easier if you do that. It saves you a lot of headache and rush to get it done before your resin sets up and gets too hot. And flash cures, we don't want that either. But this is our beautiful little rose on the nail cross, which I love. I think it turned out cute. Beautiful. All right, so that is way number 2 for you to add fairy lights to your project. And the last way is using like a jewelry glue. It's an E6000 glue. I use a lot of my projects when I want to add things to them. Like if I'm making jewelry and I want to add my little loop on a pendant so I can run my jewelry through there, my necklace. I use this E1000. If I didn't set it so it would cure in the resin like I did with these gems. I just put this in resin, I put it on top of my little coaster, and I added more resin so it would all cure together. So there you go. You have your 3 ways. The bonding UV, which I highly recommend as number 1. The second way is pour a layer, let it set up until you have that tappy consistency. Then you can press your lights where you want them. Sometimes they're still going to float up like we had with this. You can see on the back we have some exposed. It's not the end of the world. It still is fine. So that's number 2 way. And last, you can use the glue. And to hold things in place, you may need to put a rubber band around it to hold it in, because this doesn't instantly cure like the bonding UV does. This takes time to dry. Once it dries, you're fine. But that's the 3rd way. So I hope this helped you learn how to utilize these fun fairy lights in your UV projects. So leave me a comment below. Let me know, which one do you think worked best and which one are you going to try for yourself? I'm curious to know. Anyway, make sure you do all the YouTube things, y'all, because we have a lot of fun stuff coming up. And you can now join my channel. That means you can become a member. And members get perks. And one of the things is I'm going to start doing monthly. I'm giving y'all all the power. That means you get to choose what technique we're going to do. You get to choose the color palettes. And then you get to watch me do it. So I'm giving y'all the power to choose a project every month. And we have some more fun things coming that you don't want to miss. So if you want to, you can join the channel as a member. Doesn't cost very much a month. Just a little old fee to support me and help us bring more videos to help you guys. So I look forward to that. I am looking for my founding members because I'm going to do something extra special for those. So if you haven't, click that join button, check it out, see if it's something you're interested in. I'm happy to have you guys along. None of that is going to change how I do my videos. I'm still going to give you how-to step-by-step videos that will ease anxiety around doing these beautiful resin projects. So there you go. Make sure you subscribe, like this so more people can find it, and leave me a comment. Let me know, which of these techniques do you think is easiest? Which would you recommend to a friend who's going to use fairy lights? But until next time, y'all, happy arting. Ta-ta for now.